Today on Living Survival, we are taking a look at the Olight M2R Warrior, a new light from Olight, a highly anticipated light and a highly requested light for the channel. It looks like a lot of other people got that request too, or Olight is becoming the new through night and just sending them out to whoever. Not so sure it lives up to the Warrior in its name, but a great light overall. Let's take a closer look. So right out of the iPhone style packaging, this thing feels and looks quality. To be expected from Olight. They are one of my higher up brands, but fantastic build quality all throughout this new M2R Warrior. On the front here, if this plane would pass by. So in the front here we have the XHP 35 HD LED capable of popping out 1500 lumens per their specs. Gonna run for 3 minutes or before it thermally steps down to 1000-ish lumens. The high on this light is 700 lumens. That's gonna run for 2 hours. Then you have a 250 lumens. Pretty big gap there in between the 700 and the 250. The 250 will run for 6 hours and 15 minutes. Not bad with the 18650 high drain 18650 in there. 60 lumen mode at 20 hours, a 15 lumen mode at 70 hours, and then a 1 lumen moonlight mode which will run for 25 days. Beam distance of 208 meters, and then of course it's IPX8 waterproof and drop resistant. So let's take a closer look at this beauty here in all out Olight fashion. We have the colored bezel here, which I really like, the colored mode button selector switch ring there. I would like to see more of a tactical bezel on here. I mean, they do call this the Warrior, so it'd be nice, you know, it does have some ridges to it, but it would be nice if they had more of a tactical style bezel on there. You've got the mode switch, which just like all Olights or most Olights controls the on off and the mode switching on the light. Does have the anti-roll there. Just a nice design from head to tail. Reversible pocket clip. Not only can you use it 2 ways in this position, you can also move it to this position and then use it 2 ways that way as well. So highly useful pocket clip there. Then you come to what's really different about this light, a tail switch. Yes, a tail switch from Olight. It's also magnetic, so you can stick it on things, and it's also uses their recharging system. Sort of a con for me because it uses another cable that you got to carry around with you if you want to keep this light charged. But it is cool that it has the tail switch on it. Now you notice that it isn't like your standard tactical tail switch. It doesn't protrude, it's not rubber, it's a metal tail switch here. And although I like it, I don't feel that it's highly tactical, especially with gloves on. It is, you know, sort of, you know, not the most grippy light. You know, when you're grabbing for this in a tactical or a self-defense situation, which you can really do with this light, as we'll look at in the modes in a moment, you really want to be able to feel, you know, that tail switch. You really want to be able to grab onto that tail switch. So although it'll tail stand, you know, they could have protruded this out a little bit and make it still tail stand and put their rubber tail switch on there. So, you know, although it looks really good, not a huge fan of their tail switch on this light. All right, so the all-important operation of this light, pretty straightforward after you get used to it. Of course, if you're used to Olight, you're gonna be used to the mode and on and off with the mode button here, so you can use it just like that with your hand in this particular grip. So you can turn the light on and off using that mode button, and then you can also turn the light on and then hold it down, and that's going to cycle you through your modes. You can also triple click, that'll get you to your strobe. So pretty straightforward there, especially if you're used to other Olights. Enter the tail switch here, which has 2 different modes you can put it in. Standard mode is going to give you momentary to your turbo. So you just momentary the tail switch there, that's going to give you your turbo, and then if you fully depress it, it's going to turn the light on and off. So basic on off and your momentary there to your turbo mode. Now if you want to put it in more of a tactical mode, you can do so. You simply just hold the tail switch down and then you press the mode button on the side, and you'll see you get that strobe there that lets you know that you're into the tactical mode. So now when you momentary the tail switch, you're still going to go to turbo, but if you hold it all the way down, you're going to get to turbo. So you have momentary to your high, or your turbo and momentary to your strobe. And I find that is super disorienting if you sit there and you flash somebody with the high and then you give them the strobe in a dark room. Man, that blob stays in the center of your vision for quite a while. So again, we can switch it back to the other mode. Again, we just hold down the tail switch here and then press the side button. You can see the strobe stops there. And then we're back into the momentary turbo, or on and off if you fully depress. It's got a nice detent to it, so I mean, I do like the tail switch. It just would be nice if it had a little bit more grip to it, especially with gloves. You know, you want to be able to quickly pick this up and quickly activate whichever mode that you want on this light, and it's a little bit slippery on the tail cap. There is one other way you can change the modes. I believe you cycle through the modes 3 times, so we hold this down. Not sure why you would do this, but it is another way to access that special mode. So we hold it down 3 times until it strobes, and then again we are into our momentary high or turbo and are fully depressed for our strobe. So we can do that again. We can turn the light on, we can cycle through all our different brightness levels here 3 times, and then it's going to just give us the solid turbo, letting us know that we are back into that turbo and on off mode for the tail switch. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy once you learn it. Again, you get your simple operation that you're used to from the mode button. Tail switch is more of a tactical feature on it. Again, it's the Warrior, so I would have liked to see a little bit more tactical tail switch on here and a little bit more of a tactical bezel on the front. Let's go ahead and dig into the battery compartment here. You've got an O-ring, you've got some lubrication there, which is nice. Spring on the back. Olights like to be loaded backwards, but they do give you that by putting the plus signal there. Of course, it's not going to work the other way if you put the battery in there, but nice battery compartment there. You can see you do have another secondary spring there, so that's nice to see in a more tactical style flashlight. That means is if this light might be mounted on a weapon or something like that, you got the dual springs in there to sort of protect the jiggling back and forth there of the light. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at some night shots. All right, let's take a look-see at the lumen levels. This is the 1 lumen mode. I love a 1 lumen mode. Great for camping in a tent or a hammock. Gives you enough light to see what you're doing, but not enough light to kill your battery. This will last for, I believe, 25 days. On up to 15 lumens, you can see you get plenty of light. Nice beam on this light, not too spotty, not too floody. Don't think you need an ultra bright flashlight for around the home or camping. You can get by with something under 500 lumens. You can see you get plenty of light in your immediate vicinity. So 60 lumens, that's going to run for 20 hours. So going with an 18650 versus like a CR123 for an EDC light or a camping light, it's going to give you that extra time at the lower light levels. All right, we can step up to 250 lumens. Again, plenty of light. Great beam. It actually looks brighter on the camera than it does in person, but you can see the color reproduction you get with that neutral white. That's why I like it so much. Not quite as bright as the cool white, but not as blue either. Gives you a lot more natural light. That's going to run for 6 hours and 15 minutes, and then we can step it up to the 700 lumens. Again, for a light that you're just going to use around the home, camping, hiking, backpacking, a car or vehicle light, anything 500 to 1000 will work great. Look at the beam on this light. That is one nice beam. Olight has got it right as far as the beam goes with this light. Let's see how fast it cycles here. Nice fast cycle, which is nice when you're having to hold a mode button down. We can double click on up into the 1500. Again, it is going to step down once it heats up or after a certain period of time. Plenty of light here. You can shine way up into the trees. You can start to see the beam there. You can walk over here and shoot it across the pond. I'm going to have to get my rangefinder out and see what across the pond is. But you can see the trees over there. Starting to get cold out. I like it. You can imagine in the dark, you hit them with that bright light and then you hit them with that strobe. Really disorientating. disorienting. Anyway, very, very nice light. Very nice mix of spot and flood, which is what I like out of this style flashlight. We've seen the magnetic charger a few times before from Olight, but never before with a tail clicky button. Still though, works the same way. You can stand the light upright. You have the LED at the bottom, which is going to glow red. It'll glow green once it's fully charged. So again, very cool charger. Works really well. Cool that they have the integrated tail switch in there, and it still works with their charger. Again though, an extra cable that you're going to have to add to your kits. The magnetic tail cap does allow you to stick it to metallic surfaces. However, the weight of the light, you have to have a pretty strong magnetic surface for the light not to want to fall. So, pros of this light, it is beautiful. Not to mention that I have the neutral white version of this light, which I always like to get if there is an option. It's bright, it's USB rechargeable, and it's fairly straightforward to use and pretty useful as far as the modes go. So even in a light that they kind of cram a lot into, they've made it pretty easy with the mode selector button and the tail switch. I don't like one or the other to do both features. It just makes it confusing. I've had some lights that the tail switch does the exact same thing as the mode switch. I like that they kept it fairly simple, made this the main operator here for those of you that are used to Olight lights, and then given this several different special features or functions that you can put it into. So I do really like that. Cons are that it's sort of expensive for what you get. Yes, it's bright. Yes, it's small. Yes, it's built really well. But I believe at $99, you know, they could have done a little bit better on that price. The charger, although it is cool that it magnets to it and you know, gives you a way to charge the light that way, it is sort of it goes against the different cables that I have in my charging setup. That being said, it is small, so you can throw it in there, but you're screwed if you don't have that charger. There's no way to charge this light without that charger. So, you know, everyone everywhere has micro USB cables. It would have been nice if they had that integrated into this light as well. I know that this light will work great around the home, but again, for a light that I'm taking out, a warrior style light that I'm going to use maybe in the vehicle as sort of a self-defense, or maybe law enforcement or military are using this light, having that proprietary charger may not be a good thing. And then finally, for a con, the tail switch. I love the fact that they're integrating a tail switch into their lights. It just needs to be a little bit more grippy for me. It does have a nice detent, but not the easiest to momentary until you get used to it. You know, you miss that momentary. It seems like the momentary should just be a little bit lighter there. You can see I'm depressing it. You got to depress it a little bit further there. I know I'm complaining about something that seems pretty minuscule, but when you see as many lights as I have, it's the little things, man, that make the difference. So great light. Not so sure it holds up to the Warrior in its name. I would have liked to see a little bit of an improvement on this light, sort of like their Striker series, which I really like. But overall, a fantastic build, high quality flashlight from Olight. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next one.